Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes so sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Or just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade. Sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. Is a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Sack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Machegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Good morning, and welcome to day 2. Oh, they're having a little issue with their camera over on Long Crime. Day 2 of the Lindsay Clancy trial out of Plymouth Superior Court, Plymouth County, Massachusetts. How's everybody doing today? Today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. I don't know if court's starting, but the camera just started to shake. Patrick Clancy will return to the stand today. Patrick Clancy is the former husband and father of the 3 children whose lives were taken back on January 24th of 2023, tragically and horrifically. And it's going to be a hard day. It's going to be a hard day. Get your tissues. I'm meant to get my tissues and I don't have them here. Let's take a look at the motivational quote of the day. Today is Wednesday. Margaret Thatcher said, "The spirit of envy can destroy, it can never build." Those are good words for the day. Today is also the full moon. It's the full moon in Aquarius today, the buck moon. And anybody else feeling that full moon energy? I was just so, exhausted yesterday, like it was taking everything out of me. Once again, Margaret Thatcher said, "The spirit of envy can destroy, it can never build." There it is. There it is. A lot of online hate for Lindsay Clancy out there. If you chose to venture out into the world of social media, a lot of online hate. I can't understand what it must be like to live without one shred of empathy in your body. It must be really a horrible existence. But there's a lot of people like that out there, apparently. And here's a very simple rule. Very simple rule for the chat. Be nice or leave. Be nice or leave. It's really, really easy. It's really easy. And when there's, over 10,000 people in here in the chat, it can be a very difficult job. So be kind to your moderators today because we're all going to need it. I have the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline scrolling along the bottom of your screen. That is for women who are in crisis, postpartum. Please, if you know anybody who needs that hotline, or if you're in crisis right now and you need that hotline number yourself, it is scrolling along the bottom of your screen. It is 1-833-852-6262. And it is 1-833-TLC-MAMA, MAMA. I don't know. I think kindergarten. I think I do get shocked every now and again. I think I do get shocked just because I guess, I don't know. I feel like everybody should be able to feel some empathy. But if there's some people out there who just are not willing to even consider the possibility that postpartum psychosis is real, that it does exist, that it affects 1 or 2 out of 1,000 women, and it is something that is very real. And I don't understand it. I don't know. Just keep an open mind. I haven't made up my mind either, but I would just suggest that everybody try and keep an open mind and at least be open to the possibility that something like that could happen. The Commonwealth would like us to believe that Lindsay Clancy was faking it, that it wasn't real, and that she was faking it. Yeah, if it didn't exist, they wouldn't have a name for it, right? Something else that's very interesting to me, a lot of also out there online, people are saying, well, she wasn't taking her medication. She wasn't taking her medication. You know, they brought in that bag of medication and there was only 7 pills out of there. There was only 6 pills out. There was only 3 pills out. I just want to bring it to your attention that the last bottle of pills that the prosecutor spoke about was prescribed in November, okay, which was more than 60 days before these horrific acts occurred. And so there were other prescriptions that were prescribed after that date. So I think a lot of people were misled in the Commonwealth's opening to believe that she wasn't taking her medication. And I think we're going to find out that that wasn't the case. Let's pull our badass affirmation of the day because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. My unique spirit brings, well, the S word. I won't say it because sometimes we're on public television. Shout out to Paul's Barbershop in Quincy. My unique spirit brings S tons of light to the world. Oh, S tons of light to the world. Happy full moon, everyone. That is for you. Yeah, as somebody said, why did the husband testify about the pills? Because he's the one who brought in the bag of pills, I guess, to the DA's office or to the police. He's the one who, that's the bag of pills that he gave them. So it is probably not the bag of pills that they took from the home. I don't know. I don't remember exactly where they came from, but those are not all of the pills that she was subscribed. And also, you notice that Patrick Clancy was adding context to a lot of the things that the prosecutor wanted him to say. He was adding context to a lot of it. And I think it must be really difficult for him to be on the stand, but he's doing a great job. And sadly, he has to be here today. I'm imagining that he's going to be on the stand for the most of the day because they have not yet played the 911 call. Remember that the cameras are going to go off when the 911 call is played in court. Only people who are physically in court are going to be able to hear it. The cameras must go off pursuant to Judge Sullivan's pretrial order. And we will also not be shown the autopsy photos, thank God, because I don't think that you want to see them because you'll never be able to unsee them. Cross-examination will probably see a different Kevin Reddington during cross because Patrick Clancy is a very friendly witness for the defense, in my opinion. I don't know, issues with the camera. Please be mindful of the things that you write in the chat and the things that you write in the comments after the show is over, because we have covered many a trial where the family members of the victims are coming and reading the comments. So just, try and, I don't know, think before you hit send or go. It's just a good idea. It's just kind of a good idea. That would be nice. How's everybody this morning? Yeah, it's going to be a battle of the experts is what I think it's going to be. It's going to be a battle of the experts. Which expert do you think the jury is going to find more credible? Because many cases like this, specifically, I'm thinking of Ruth Miller, which is a case that we covered the plea hearing on recently because there was no trial in that case. Ruth Miller was an Amish woman who took the life of her 4-year-old, and there's chilling body camera footage of the first responders who came to the scene when Ruth Miller was clearly in the midst of a psychotic break, talking about how she gave her child to God, and her husband too had also given himself to God, and now they were with the fishes, and it was chilling. And in the Ruth Miller case, that was in Ohio. Both experts, the state expert and the defense expert, both agreed that she was criminally insane at the time that she took her child's life. And so they just agreed. And then the judge sentenced her to her sentence in a state mental hospital. And so they didn't go through a trial. It was a very different way of handling things. I think mental illness is something that's not spoken about enough. Postpartum psychosis definitely is not spoken about enough. And I think if there's anything to be good, anything good that can come from this trial, it is that maybe there'll be some more awareness around something that is very, very rare, but also very, very real. And so I guess we'll see. Happy hump day to you. Jem Murray has been here for 5 months. Happy hump day. We're just waiting for court to start. And Patrick Clancy will be back on the stand. For those of you who are not familiar with this case at all, there are extensive show notes below this video, a summary of the case, and you may need to close out your chat if you're on your phone to read them. Just a reminder that Lindsay Clancy is asserting the defense of lack of criminal responsibility, which used to be called the insanity defense. But in Massachusetts, it's different than a lot of other states. In Massachusetts, a defendant is not criminally responsible for a crime. I'm going to read it directly from the statute. If at the time of the offense, they suffered from a mental disease or defect, and as a result, they either lacked the capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness of their conduct or lacked the ability to conform their conduct to the requirements of the law. And unlike many other states in which the defense has to prove that the defendant was criminally insane at the time of the occurrence, once it is credibly brought into evidence by the defense, for example, by a psychiatric expert, who I know Dr. Zeisel is going to testify on Lindsay's behalf, the burden then shifts to the Commonwealth. And so it's then it's the Commonwealth's burden to show that Lindsay Clancy was not legally insane at the time the acts were committed, even if the defendant admits to committing the acts. And you see that they're already laying the groundwork. They're already sprinkling their breadcrumbs around about how they intend to prove it. They're going to obviously bring Ian Whiffen in to testify about when Lindsay Clancy's Google searches were made with regard to the takeout restaurant. And there's in openings, the prosecutor said that Lindsay Googled how long it would take to get to CVS, and then from CVS to the restaurant, and then from the restaurant to home, because in their theory is she sent him away.
This court's now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Your Honor, before the court today, we have the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. Ms. Clancy is present. She is represented by Attorney Kevin Reddington, and the Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Sprague and Assistant District Attorney Shannon Buckingham.
Hi, good morning, counsel.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Clancy. All right, before we get started, can I see counsel at sidebar briefly?
And there's a sidebar right away, panning to the gallery. Lindsay's parents have been exempt from the sequestration order, so they are allowed to sit in court prior to their testimony. It's my understanding that they are going to be called, but we'll see. Kevin Reddington is going to use a lot of lay witnesses, family and friends, to show that Lindsay was a completely different person, and that's something in her snapped. Many people have suggested that maybe Lindsay Googled that stuff because she wanted to know how long it would take him to see if she could, hang on, to reassure herself that she wouldn't be alone for very long. Commonwealth also showed videos yesterday, or it was 2 days ago. Yesterday was in no court, to Patrick Clancy, of things they were doing in the months leading up to the killings, like going to a water park and some other family activities, trying to show that, look, she looked normal here, she looked normal there. But understand that a psychotic break can occur in minutes or seconds before an act. So I didn't really find those videos to be persuasive. in my opinion. Sabrina said, my thought is she was Googling how long it would take and if the CVS was on the way to get the food. Right, or she wanted to find a CVS that was near the restaurant so that he wouldn't have to go out of his way. Thank you, Pauline L., for gifting 5 memberships, and welcome to the 5 newly gifted members. It is a completely random process by YouTube. I don't know. Let's take a look. TMBB Superfan wants to know if Lindsay has headphones on so she can hear the sidebars. I didn't notice. If she did have headphones on, yes, that's what they're for. But when they just pan to her, I didn't notice if she had them on. Remember, Karen Reed was not allowed to have headphones. She was required to walk up every time they had a sidebar. Missy wants to know, why do they keep asking if she had a plan? Because they're trying to say that her attempt to take her own life was, she faked it. That if she really wanted to do it, she really would have done it. They have a lot of theories about that too. Like the cuts weren't deep enough that she inflicted on herself. The window wasn't high enough. Remember in opening, she actually, the ADA referred to her coming down the side of the house like Spider-Man. I love sarcasm says, I think she was trying to find a restaurant near the CVS. Elizabeth Butler, thank you for adding Lindsay and her family to your nightly prayers. That's lovely. That's very nice. Yeah, Michelle says Reddington should show the jury every picture of Robin Williams, Chester Bennington, and other celebrities who have taken their lives, a picture of them the day before. Nothing but smiles. Right. Somebody pointed out too, I'm going to delete that because my stream from the other day was improperly flagged and demonetized as promoting the taking of one's life. So please be extra cautious of the things that you write in the chat. And it was demonetized. I've appealed it and I won my appeal. However, we really got to be careful about what you write in the chat. Please. Because not only does the video get demonetized, but it gets shadow banned. It's been fixed, but this is going to be a tough trial and it's probably going to happen again. And they do have AI bots scanning the chats on YouTube. All right. But the worst part of it is the shadow banning because it doesn't get pushed out to people. So share the stream, like the stream, do the things so that more people can hear about it. I don't see any headphones on her.
So counsel, we're ready for the jury?
Yes.
Thank you, Scott. The jury will be going on a field trip to the house. There was an order signed yesterday. We knew that was going to happen. Even though the new owner does not want them there, he can't prevent it, apparently. It just didn't say when that field trip was going to be. So I'm sure they'll take a half a day to do that, probably within the next, probably by the end of the week, I would imagine. I'm sure maybe the judge will talk about it at some point today. And please don't forget to take breaks as needed. It's going to be difficult today. Her family is there. Somebody asked if her family was there. Well, thank you, Poll. A poll indeed. dot. Field trip is Friday, according to all the media outlets locally. Probably they'll do it in the morning,
All
right?
rise. Jurors enter.
Thank you, Betsy. Love you back. XOXO.
Hear ye, all persons having anything to do before the Honorable William Sullivan, Justice of the Superior Court now sitting in Plymouth, within for the Commonwealth. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This court is now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
Your Honor, before the court today, we have the continuation of the jury trial in the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. Ms. Clancy is present. She is represented by Attorney Kevin Reddington, and the Commonwealth is represented by Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Sprague and Assistant District Attorney Shannon Buckingham.
All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone again. So what I want to do is just kind of go through first. I'm going to ask you those couple of questions, make sure that everybody was able to follow my instructions. Then I'm going to go over today's schedule and maybe discuss a little bit about the week's schedule, so you kind of have an idea where we're going with this. So first, let me ask those questions. Excuse me. The first question: has any member of the jury read, seen, or heard anything about this case that would affect your ability to be fair and impartial as a juror in this case? The next question: is there any other serious matter or concern bearing on your service as a juror that anybody needs to bring to my attention at this time? All right. Again, thank you for following those instructions. Now, the schedule that we're going to follow today is we're going to continue with the case with the Commonwealth's witness who was on the stand Monday. And then we're going to take today be a little bit, might be broken up a little bit. There may be a couple of breaks that we have to take during the course of that, but we'll try and keep those to a minimum. But we'll take a break at 1 o'clock, and then we'll come back this afternoon, and we'll probably go to sometime between 3 and 4. All right. Hopefully, I think tomorrow will be pretty much the same schedule. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then Friday, we are planning to go on that view. All right. And as a judge, I can control a lot of things, but I can't control the weather. All right. And so we've checked. It looks like the weather should be fine in regards to do this, but we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But that's just in case I forget about that. That's what we're going to do. So on Friday, you may want to make sure you have a jacket with you, comfortable shoes. But we'll go into that a little bit more. So that's the schedule that we anticipate for the rest of the week. So on Friday, when we do the view, we'll come back. We usually generally do that in the morning. And then we'll come back and we'll probably go to, again, probably around 3 or 4 if we can. All right. And then on Friday, I'll discuss with you the next week's schedule and kind of where we are in the timeline of this case. All right. So I'll try and keep you up to date as best I can in regards to the case. But like I said, there may be some unanticipated breaks here and there that we're going to have to take. So with that, we're going to return now to the Commonwealth's case. The Commonwealth had a witness on the stand at that time. I'm going to ask Ms. Sprague if you could recall that witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We recall Patrick Clancy.
The camera had panned over to Lindsay's parents that were sitting, I think it was the second row. I like the way the judge stands up to address the jury as well.
Please raise your right hand. Ms. Sullivan swears that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the court and the jury in the matter now pending between the Commonwealth and the defendant shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. You may have a seat.
All right. Good morning, sir. All right. Ms. Sprague.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
So on Monday, I had asked you some questions about the Surface Pro that you and the defendant had in your home and had access to, and about whether you had looked at a site on suicide methods on August 22nd. If I could ask you, did you look at a site for suicide methods on August 23rd, 2022?
I don't believe so.
And I had also asked you on Monday about when you were leaving the home on the night of January 24th, 2023, your observations of Lindsay and the children. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you had testified that you observed Dawson on the couch eating, I believe you said chicken nuggets and green beans. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you recall, if you're facing the couch, where he was on the couch?
If I were facing the couch, he would be to the right.
To the right, okay. And showing you a photograph of the living room.
Keep in mind, he's now testifying about the last time he ever saw his children alive. Keep that in mind.
Where there are some bowls on the couch. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the couch looked that night?
Yeah.
We could have this photo marked as the next exhibit.
All right. Any objection? That may be admitted.
Now, as you're getting ready to leave the house to head out to get the takeout, did Lindsay say anything to you?
Nothing specific that I can recall, just other than maybe goodbye.
Do you recall something about discussing something about CVS with her?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did she say about CVS?
She wanted me to pick up some stool softener for Cora.
And she hadn't mentioned that earlier in the text, correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So as you're leaving, she asked you to make a second or another stop while you're out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in response to that request, did you ask her to do something?
I don't remember.
I could show you page 77, lines 23 and 24, if you could just read those to yourself.
Yeah, I told her to text it to me, which she did.
I'm sorry, so that refresh your memory and
Yep.
ask her to text it to you?
Yep.
And did she do so?
She did.
And was that at approximately 5:15 p.m. that she texted PDLX?
Sounds correct.
So your two stops then that night were going to be CVS and the 3V restaurant, correct?
Yes.
Where did you go first?
CVS.
And do you remember the route that you took to get there?
Yeah, I went out our driveway, took a right on Winter Street, and then took a left on the main road and went to CVS.
So it's a pretty direct route from your house to CVS?
Yeah.
Just going to have you look at the screen, if you would, to a map. And coming into this red dot here, is that the approximate location of your home at 47 Summer Street?
Yeah.
And then looking at this pink dot here next to Big Y, is that where the CVS is located?
Yes.
And that's the CVS you went to that night?
Yes.
About how long did it take you to get there?
3 minutes.
And when you got to CVS, did you go inside?
Yes.
And what section did you go to in CVS?
I think it was pediatrics.
If we could pull up the CVS video. I'm going to ask you to look at the video here. Is that you entering the store?
Yeah.
They pulled surveillance video from CVS. A lot more than they did
And
for
that
the.
section you head to on the right, is that the pediatric medication section?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot more than they did for the murder of a Boston police officer, John O'Keefe, that's for sure.
And while you're in that section, looking for the medication, do you do something?
I called Lindsay
And why did you call Lindsay?
because what we were looking for wasn't there. The shelves are pretty empty. It was still during COVID.
It was, I'm sorry, what?
It was during COVID, so
Okay, so, and was that call at about approximately 5:33 p.m.?
yeah,
Okay. And then did she answer the call?
yes.
She entered when you called her?
Actually, I think she didn't at first. She called back.
Okay. And did you receive a call back from her about a minute later at 5:34 p.m.?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And can you describe that phone call for us?
It was very brief. I just said, I think there was a generic brand, and I said, "Is this one okay?" And she said, "Yeah, that's fine."
And what was her demeanor during the call?
A lot of questions in the chat about why is this relevant? This is relevant because the prosecution is trying to show that because Lindsay was able to do these things like text him about Miralax or Pedialyte, that she was able to do things like make phone calls to him, text him, that she could not have been suffering from a psychotic break because she could do all those things. You see? That is why she is asking all of these questions, because that's their theory. There was nothing wrong with her. She was faking it. She could not possibly have been suffering a psychotic break because she planned this. She was able to do things like that. That is why. This is the crux of their case, that she was coherent enough to call him, text him, remember what he should get at CVS. And yeah, people say that she's doing her job. And maybe she went and read all the comments from Tuesday because she's being a little more sensitive today than she was being on Tuesday. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's fine.
And what was her demeanor during the call?
She was pretty quiet. It sounded like she was busy. I remember hanging up thinking she's probably in the middle of giving baths or something like that.
So it sounded to you like she was in the middle of something?
Yeah.
Were you able to understand her when she spoke to you?
Yeah.
And did she?
She was in the middle of killing your kids, is what she wants to say. I don't know if they've got a set time of death, but this time is going to become important. That Lindsay called at 5:33, and the Commonwealth is going to try to prove that the children, she was either in the commission of the crimes or that the crimes had already happened. She was done, and she was able to pick up the phone and talk to him like normal. That's what they're doing.
She seemed to understand what you were saying.
Yes.
And she didn't seem to have any trouble recalling why you were at CVS or what you were looking for?
That's correct.
And did you, in fact, purchase some Pedialyte at CVS?
Yes.
Did you purchase anything else while you were there?
I bought a pack of Skittles.
Just showing you a receipt here from CVS. Does this appear to be an accurate description of what was purchased?
Yeah.
We could have the CVS receipt. Mark this the next exhibit, please.
All right. That may be admitted.
26. And then if we could have the original CVS video marked as an exhibit and the CVS timeline, a condensed version like this to follow the exhibit.
27 and 28.
If you're going to come in and troll me today, you're going to need to pay me more than $2 to do it. Just a heads up. They're out in full force.
And the timeline is 28, please. It's 26, 27, and 28 is the mark.
All right. Thank you.
After you had made your purchases at CVS, where did you go next?
To 3V.
And do you remember the route you took to get there?
Yeah, I think I got on Route 3 South for just one exit. And then I got off and went straight to 3V.
And showing you the map again here on the screen. This green dot here on the bottom, is that where 3V restaurant is located?
Yeah.
Showing a
Your
map.
Honor, I'd move to submit a copy, a digital copy of the map. We have it on the computer. I can make a hard copy.
That may be admitted.
We can use empty case as a marker. Is it 29?
Thank you.
Catherine Mitchell says you cannot be in psychosis if you're having lucid comments. End of story. It's the truth. I've seen many people in psychosis. Are you a medical provider? I'm just curious.
3V video, please.
Are you a forensic psychiatrist or psychologist? I'm going to wait to hear from the experts before I decide.
Now, sir, how long approximately did it take you to get from CVS to 3V?
Probably around 10 minutes.
And when you got to the 3V restaurant, did you go inside?
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask you to watch the video on screen.
More surveillance video from the 3V restaurant.
At 5:54:15 p.m., is that you coming in behind that other couple there?
Yeah.
Thank you, Whippet Lover. Says I've worked on a psych unit. That's not
And what are you
correct.
doing at that point when you're looking at the bags?
I think I was looking for the bag with my name on it.
Do you recall what you're doing on your phone at that time?
I don't. It could be work related. It could be anything.
And the order that was listed under your name and phone number, correct?
I think Lindsay ordered it.
Right, but do you recall whose name it was under when you picked it up?
I don't recall specifically, but it could have been mine.
Show you a receipt here from 3V Restaurant for Mediterranean Powerball and scallop and pork belly risotto. You could just look at the name and the number on the receipt.
Yeah, that's my name and my number.
So that's your phone number?
Yep.
Okay. So although the defendant called in the order, your name and phone number were given and were given accurately, is that correct?
Correct.
If we could have the 3V video marked as the next exhibit.
Sure. That may be admitted. Could I see counsel just very briefly?
Of course you're a troll, because if you weren't a troll, you wouldn't be mentioning Emily and I in the same sentence. But keep paying me $2. Alana Witherspoon says, actual professional here, you can absolutely make lucid comments while in psychosis. Please leave the diagnosing to those of us with the education and training.
Receipt marked as the next exhibit. I think I have the receipt marked as the next exhibit.
All right. It's subject to the court's order that may be admitted.
Sir, after picking up the order at 3V, where did you go next?
Home.
And do you recall the route you took home?
Probably the same route, one exit on the highway, and then went home.
Okay. Do you recall approximately how long it took you to get home?
I would guess 10 to 12 minutes.
When you arrived home, where did you park?
in the driveway.
What type of car did you drive then?
A Chevy Silverado.
And was that a white pickup truck?
Yeah.
What kind of car did Lindsay drive then?
It was a Kia SUV.
And once you parked there, were both vehicles now in the driveway?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you a series of photographs of the exterior of your home. You could just look through them and tell me if they accurately reflect how your home looked on January 24th, 2023.
Yeah, these are accurate.
You could have these photographs of the exterior of the home, front and back, marked sequentially as things exhibits.
They may be admitted.
Josie Lou, he picked up Skittles, not cigarettes, sweetie. Thanks for your 5. It was Skittles, not cigarettes.
32 through 37, no, 38, so marked. Sir, showing you what's been marked as exhibit 32. Is this the front of your house with the main door?
Yes.
And then showing you what's been marked as exhibit 33. Where is this in relation to that main front door?
It's to the right.
And here where the light is that a secondary entrance at the front of the house?
Yes.
And for the record, that's to the left of the garage.
Yeah.
Showing you exhibit 34. Can you tell us what portion of the house this is?
It's to the left of the front door.
So if I'm facing the front door, it's to the left, there's a fence there, is that correct? And exhibit 35, is that more of that same fence on the left?
Yes.
And then showing you exhibit 36, is this looking at your backyard from that left side area where the fence is?
Yeah.
And then exhibit 37, can you tell us what we're seeing here?
This is the back of the house and the window where Lindsay jumped out.
And exhibit 38, is that a more direct view of that back?
Come to your screen if you can, because they're going to say that these windows were not high enough for her to take her life and that she slid down the side of the house like Spider-Man. So if you can come to the screen, I think it was one of the back windows on the second floor that she jumped from.
And the window where Lindsay jumped out.
And exhibit 38, is that a more direct view of that back of the house?
Yeah.
And so the window you referenced about Lindsay, is it this upper right top window?
Yeah.
And what is behind that window?
Our bedroom.
And the window to the left there in the middle, what room is that window in?
That's the upstairs bathroom.
And then the top window on the far left, what room is that for?
That was Dawson's bedroom.
Austin's. Okay. And then directly below the top right window, so the bottom far right window, what room is that window for?
The living room.
And then again, the middle window on the bottom level.
Downstairs bathroom.
And then that window on the far left there, is that the kitchen?
Yeah.
And on the far left of the photo where the sliding glass doors are, where does that lead into?
There's like a room off of the kitchen where there's a kitchen table.
When you got home and you parked your truck, how did you get into the home?
I went in through that side door.
The door that was to the left of the garage?
Yeah.
And what did you do once you got inside the home?
I started taking my boots off.
And did you have some bags with you from CVS and 3V?
Yeah.
Where did you place those?
On the kitchen island.
Show you a couple photos of that area where you came in. Just tell us if it accurately represents how they looked, that area looked on January 24th, please.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Could have these two photos marked with the next exhibit, please.
It may be minute.
Exhibits 39 and 40. So we're showing you what's been marked as exhibit 39. Can you tell us where the sliding glass doors are in this photograph?
They're to the left of the kitchen table.
So we have here the kitchen table, kind of in the center of the photograph, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so these are the sliding glass doors?
Yeah.
And where's the door that you came through?
To the right after the kitchen table.
Right here, next to the curtain?
Yeah.
And the door, when you're looking at the photo straight ahead, this door to the left of the mirror or the photo there, where does that lead?
The garage.
And then showing you exhibit 40. Is that where you place the bags on the island in the kitchen?
Yeah.
When you came into the house and you were taking off your boots and putting things down, was there anything you noticed?
Yeah, the house is really quiet.
Was that unusual?
Yeah.
And when you realized it was really quiet, what did you do?
I called out.
And who did you call out to?
Everyone.
Did anyone answer?
No.
After you called out and no one answered, what did you do next?
I think I don't know the order, but I called down in the basement and no one answered. And then I called Lindsay to see if she was home because I looked out and I couldn't see her car, but it's because it was dark and her car's black.
Okay, so when you say you called down to the basement, when you approached the basement door, do you remember if it was open or shut?
It was shut.
So did you open it and yell down?
Yeah.
And there was no response?
Correct.
And showing you a photo here, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the stairway down to the basement level?
Yeah.
We could have this marked as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 41. Do you recall when you opened the door to yell down whether the light was on or off?
Yeah, it was on, but Lindsay always left the light on.
And you said you called Lindsay. Was that a phone call?
Yeah.
And was that at approximately 6:09 p.m.?
Yeah.
And did she answer?
No.
After calling down the stairs to the basement, did you leave the door open or did you close it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I would think I closed it because I always try to keep it closed. I'm not sure.
Okay. And so after you called Lindsay and didn't get a response, what did you do next?
I started checking upstairs.
And where did you check upstairs?
First, the bathroom. I thought maybe they were taking baths, but there's no one there.
And then where did you go?
The kids' bedrooms.
Was there anyone in the kids' bedrooms?
No.
And then did you go to your bedroom?
Yeah.
And were you able to get into your bedroom right away?
No, the door was locked, and that's when I knew something was wrong.
And when you realized the door was locked, did you have a way to unlock it?
Yeah, the previous owners, when they installed the doorknobs, had these like these little keys that they taped to the back of each door. So I got the one from Cora's room, and I started unlocking the knob.
And when you unlocked the door to your bedroom, did you go in?
Yeah.
And what did you see when you opened the door and went in?
I just saw blood everywhere, and the window is open.
And
He's the first person who comes into the house after this happened, and so his testimony is important. So, trigger warning, because it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
And showing you here a photo, is this the bed in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Now, the way the bed is in this photo, kind of pulled away from the wall and slightly askew or at an angle, is that the way it was typically?
No.
And when you left the bedroom that day for the last time prior to coming home later that night, was the bed in that position?
I don't think so.
It has this photo marked as the next
It may be admitted.
Exhibit 42. And you said you saw the window, is that correct?
Yeah.
Was it open?
Yeah, there was wind blowing in.
Showing you a photo here. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the window looked?
Yeah.
Mark, what's the next exhibit, please?
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 43. Did you walk into the room and over to the window?
No.
How far into the room did you get?
Probably 1 or 2 steps, and then I immediately turned around and went outside.
And the blood that you saw, where was that located in the room?
It was everywhere. It was, it looked like it was sprayed almost with like a hose. And there was a huge puddle in the middle of the room, and it was sprayed all over pretty much every surface. I remember it was on the doorknob.
Okay.
Like it was sprayed with a hose.
3 photos. Do you recognize what's depicted there? And is that a fair and accurate depiction of how the room looked on January 24th, 2023?
Yeah.
We could have these photos, 3 photos marked as the next 3 exhibits.
It may be admitted.
So they're showing you what's been marked exhibit 44. Is this the entrance to the room, looking into the room?
Yeah.
And then exhibit 45, is this mirror to the right of that bureau we were just looking at?
Yep.
And this area right here, is this the blood you were referring to?
Yeah, that's some of the blood.
And
I think it's covered by their
exhibit
banner.
46, is that closer to, getting closer to the window?
Yeah.
And is that more of the blood that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Her boots are there. It looks like she just took her boots off before she went out the window too, maybe.
Going back to exhibit 42. There's no blood on the walls or on the bedding, correct?
On those walls and the bedding, correct.
All right. They want everyone to believe these were superficial wounds, not a real attempt. Lindsay is paraplegic from that fall.
Sir, were you aware that the defendant's phone was found on the bed in the bedroom that night?
No.
A lot of you are saying that only convinced you that the attempt was not fake. She's shredding papers? What is she doing?
They're showing you this phone with this light brown case. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Whose phone is it?
That was Lindsay's phone.
And is this the phone that she was consistently using between September of 2022 and, well, actually August of 2022 throughout the fall and into January of 2023?
Yeah.
You have this marked as the next activity.
That may be admitted.
47. Sir, after making those observations in the bedroom, what did you do next?
I ran downstairs and went outside.
And do you recall whether you went out the front door or the back door?
I went out the back door.
So that would be the sliders, is that right?
Yeah.
And where did you go from there?
I just looked around in the backyard below that window and I saw Lindsay.
And where did you see her?
She was face up in the backyard.
And where in the backyard was she?
At the bottom of the window.
And so, looking at Exhibit 38, you said this was the window, correct, the top right?
Correct.
Where was she in relation to that window?
Directly below it.
So down here by the window well?
Yeah.
For the record, I was pointing straight below the bottom right window by the window well.
It'll be interesting to see if they show any crime scene photos, whether or not they marked the location of where Lindsay was found on the ground with any sort of evidence marker or anything like that.
I'll show you a photo of that window you were referring to. Is this the exterior view of that window to your bedroom that night?
Yeah.
We could have this marked as an activity.
That may be admitted.
Exhibit 48. Showing you Exhibit 48. So the window's open, correct?
Yes.
And the screen for the window is up, correct?
Yeah.
At any point in time that night or afterwards, did you notice that the screen was cut or broken in any way?
I didn't notice that, no.
And when you saw Lindsay on the ground there under the window, which direction was her body facing?
Her head was closer to the house. Her feet were away from the house.
And did you go to her?
Yeah.
And did you observe any injuries?
Yes.
And what did you see?
She had deep cuts on her wrists, and she had a red line across her neck. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but she cut her neck.
And do you recall that these wounds weren't actively bleeding at the time?
I later learned that I said that on the 911 call.
And when you observed these wounds, is it correct that the 911 operator asked you or instructed you to apply pressure if needed?
I don't recall the whole call, but I believe that's probably true.
Okay. And you didn't at the time feel the need to apply pressure to any of those wounds, correct?
Correct.
Did you say anything to Lindsay when you found her in that state?
Yeah, I said, what happened?
And what was her response?
She said I tried to kill myself.
Did you ask her anything else?
I said, where are the kids?
And what was her response?
She said they're in the basement.
And at that time, she didn't tell you that they needed help or they were in danger or they were injured, correct?
Correct.
And so you mentioned talking to someone on 911. At what point did you call 911?
I don't know the exact time, but it took a few minutes because my phone was switching between Wi-Fi and 911. So I almost just started calling out for the neighbors, but eventually it went through.
Okay. So you had some difficulty connecting, but eventually you connected to the 911 operator?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you stay on the phone with them while they were sending people to respond?
Yeah.
Okay. While you're on the phone with 911, are they asking you questions and you're responding with information about her condition?
Yeah.
And if you could just look at the screen here, is this the model of the first floor of your home?
Yes.
Okay. And so we have here the sliding glass doors. Where would the basement door be in this model?
Directly below the stairs.
Sure, they spent a lot of money doing this 3D graphic.
So now that it's flipped around, is this the door to the basement right here?
Yeah.
For the record, that's the door across from the downstairs bathroom.
Yeah.
And then, how long approximately, and I know you weren't looking at your watch or anything like that, but can you estimate for us how long it took for first responders to arrive?
4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. And during that time, are you continuing to try to talk to Lindsay?
Yeah.
Is she responding?
She was in and out of consciousness.
Okay. Was she breathing on her own?
I believe so.
Okay. And you're communicating information to the 911 operators, and are they giving you, advice on how to deal with the situation as it progresses?
Yeah.
Okay. Once emergency personnel arrive, what do?
I immediately got up and ran to the basement.
Okay. And do you still have the phone on you? You're still on the 911 call?
Yeah, I didn't realize it at the time, but I did.
Okay. And have you look at this model here on the screen. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the setup of your basement?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can just describe the rooms for us, what the purpose of each room was.
So the room in the back left was my office. The room with the black rubber mat is the gym. And then there's the living room to the right of that. And then the back right is just an area of the living room. And then there's a bathroom next to that.
So when you come down those stairs that night, which direction did you go?
Immediately went left.
And when you went left, what did you see?
I saw Cora.
And how did she look?
She had a band around her neck.
And was that an exercise band?
Yeah.
And do you recall whether she was what position she was in, whether face up or face down?
She's face down.
And when you saw her in that condition, what did you do?
I immediately ran over and tried to take the band off.
Were you able to get the band off?
Yeah,
And do you recall how you got the band off?
I think I untied it.
And when you say untied it, was it in a knot that you had to, put everything down and unknot it, or how was it tied?
I'm not sure I fully remember.
Do you recall describing it previously as when you initially tie your shoes but then don't do the bow?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And was she responsive?
No,
And what did you see or do next?
I saw Callan.
And where was he?
He was next to her.
And how did he appear?
He had a band around his neck.
Sorry?
He had a band around his neck.
And did you remove that as well?
Yeah,
And do you recall what position he was in?
same as Cora.
And looking at the model here, if you could just tell us, where was Cora?
The left of the couch.
So would that be this area here that I'm pointing to, in between the bureau and the couch?
Yeah,
And where was Callan?
to her left.
So would that be more over here towards the chair and the bureau?
Yeah.
After you removed the band from Callan's neck, what did you do next?
I tried to find Dawson.
And where did you go?
I looked in the bathroom and on the other side of the couch. And then I went to the other side of the basement and he was in my office.
And when you saw Dawson, what condition was he in?
I knew he was gone.
And did he also have a band around his neck?
Yeah.
And did you remove that band?
Yeah.
And looking at the office here, where was he located within the office?
Just to the left of the door when you went in.
Just in this area here, right inside the door?
Yeah.
Okay, all of this, I'm going to just stop this chat again one more time. All of this testimony is necessary. This is necessary testimony for the prosecution, who is forced to prove a case because they wouldn't agree to stipulate to all of these facts. He's the first person on scene. He is an eyewitness, and this is important testimony. I hear a lot of, why are they doing this to him? This is important testimony. It could have been avoided if the Commonwealth agreed to stipulate to all of these things and just go to trial on the penalty phase. They wouldn't do that. But I have to tell you that the prosecutor has to ask these questions. She's being better than she was the other day. I've seen her be far worse. But these are questions that have to be asked because he's the first eyewitness. You know what I mean? So it's necessary. It's not beyond the pale for her to be asking this stuff.
If we may approach briefly.
Yeah, please.
Okay, we're a little bit behind, so we have room to scooch.
Now, after finding Dawson and taking off the band, what happened next?
I think I was back and forth. I think I went to try to help Cora.
Did you try to give her CPR?
Yeah.
At some point in time, do the first responders make their way down to the basement?
Yeah.
And do they take over care of the children?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
They sent me upstairs.
Okay. And at this point, Your Honor, I'd move to submit the 911 call as the next exhibit.
That may be allowed pursuant to the earlier order.
It's court. This is what they call direct examination. That's right. This is real court, folks. There's no evidence that he was cheating on her. Who would even write that down? Please remember again.
Or Dawson and Callan removed from the home and taken to a hospital.
Yeah.
Was that Beth Israel Deaconess in Plymouth?
Yeah.
Did you also go to that location?
Yeah.
And at the hospital, were you able to see your children?
Yeah.
And was Callan then transported to Children's Hospital?
Yeah.
Did anyone ever tell you not to leave your kids alone with Lindsay?
No.
In January of 2023, did Lindsay ever tell you that she wanted to harm your children?
No.
Did she ever tell you she was going to kill your children?
No.
Did you receive, a few days after this happened, did you receive a phone call from the defendant while she was at Brigham and Women's Hospital?
I think it was like a week or so after, yeah.
And what did the defendant say at that time about what had happened with the children?
She didn't talk about our kids. She talked about what she went through.
And what did she say about what she went through?
She said she heard a man's voice telling her that if she didn't do it now, she would lose her chance or something like that.
Okay, I want to hear that again.
And say at that time.
So I think it was like a week or so after, yeah.
And what did the defendant say at that time about what had happened with the children?
She didn't talk about our kids. She talked about what she went through.
And what did she say about what she went through?
She said she heard a man's voice telling her that if she didn't do it now, she would lose her chance or something like that.
And did she also tell you that she had had a moment of psychosis?
I don't recall.
Did she mention the children at all during that call?
I don't think so. I mean, not directly.
Had she ever mentioned psychosis to you before?
No, I didn't know what psychosis was until after this happened.
Did she ever tell you she was hearing a man's voice before?
No.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
I have no further questions for this witness.
All
I
right.
just have exhibits
All right.
after.
Counsel, can I see just briefly, sidebar?
All right, usually they take a morning break at 11. It is only 10:15. We're a little behind, so we can scooch past the sidebar.
At a later point today. Thank you. Excuse subject.
The witness could be
All right.
excused.
So you can be excused subject to recall.
Wait a second, is there no cross? Hold on. Did Reddington say no cross? Wait.
The witness could be
All right.
excused.
So you can be excused subject to recall at a later point today. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so they're excusing him. I think they're going to play the 911 call, and then I guess they're going to bring him back. Or if there's no cross, but she said subject to recall later today, so they may just be taking him out of the room, the 911 call, because he did
Your
his
Honor,
lawyer.
at this point, I would move to submit some evidence. First,
She's putting on her gloves before she's touching the evidence.
Would be the clothing. Cora Clancy was
Patrick Clancy hired a lawyer prior to trial. The lawyer came in, made some motions, asked that he be removed from the room when the 911 call is played and when the children's clothing was shown. He also asked the children's clothing that they were wearing at the time of their deaths not be shown to the public. The court denied that part of the motion, but the cameras will go off when they play the 911 call. And so out of respect for this witness, they've let him leave the room while this evidence is showed. And praise be, there is a God. She's got a big evidence bag with red tape on it.
wearing the night of January 20th. The clothing
She's going to with the clothing first.
would be the clothing Cora Clancy was wearing the night of January 24th, 2023.
If you can't handle this, walk away from your screen now.
First, the pajama pants.
She's showing it to a jury in a way that we couldn't see it. If you're that curious, you can zoom in on your screen. I don't need to see it.
Pajama shirt.
As she takes each item out of the bag, she's folding it back up. There's another bag inside of the first big bag.
And then the pink robe.
Cora was 5.
We could have these marked as one exhibit.
They may be admitted.
Oh, Kevin Reddington is holding Lindsay Clancy's hand.
Thank you.
We can't see her.
Dawson's clothing.
Her face is blocked by her hair, and the camera's focusing on Lindsay and her attorney rather than the clothing that is now coming out of the bag. Dawson's
Yeah,
clothing.
dinosaur underwear for the record. And a gray t-shirt or shirt, long sleeve shirt.
Looks like she's crying. Yeah.
Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Reddington's not going to let go of her hand for anything.
And then Helen's pajamas.
Remember, Callan lived for 3 days at the hospital, but there was no brain activity.
As the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
This is the dog and pony show Kevin Reddington was trying to prevent when he offered to stipulate to the
Yellow
crimes.
exercise band found with Dawson.
Here are the exercise bands. That's not what I pictured. For some reason, I pictured the big, long, flat, like latex ones. These are more like bungee cords. They are murder weapons, and so they're entitled to be shown in court. If you want to see what they look like, come to your screen if you can safely.
Yellow exercise band found with Dawson. Have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Black exercise band found with Cora. Grab this as the next exhibit, please.
That may.
And then the blue exercise band found with Callan. could have this as the next exhibit, please.
That may be admitted.
Your Honor, we would ask that the 911 call be played.
All right. All right. Members of the jury, I just kind of wanted to give you, sometimes in a trial, evidence that is introduced that produces in jurors an emotional response. For example, it's understandable to feel sympathy and empathy when you hear or see certain evidence. And so, but as jurors who have taken an oath to follow the law, I'm instructing you that the law says you must separate any emotional reaction on your part from the informational value and weight of the evidence. You must not be influenced in any way by the unpleasant nature of some of the evidence, including testimony, including exhibits. And so you must find the facts in this case based only on the evidence. And so you can't find facts or base your decision on sympathy, anger, passion, or prejudice or pity for or against either side. Rather, your verdict must be based solely on the evidence that is introduced in this case and my instructions and any other limiting instructions. And I'll go into that, but I just kind of wanted to remind you of that as we go through this. All right, at this point, we're going to play the exhibit, which is, I believe, the 911 call. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I want to remind everyone that there is a order entered by the court regarding this matter. It's not to be recorded. It's not to be broadcast. And it's not to be reproduced in any way, subject to any sanctions that would go along with the violation of that court order. So I just kind of remind everybody that order applies to the media and applies to the public. So I just kind of wanted to remind everybody in regards to that. So with that, Commonwealth.
Okay, so the cameras are going to mute. We're not going to hear it, but they're still focused on Kevin Reddington. And Lindsay looks like she's heaving. Her face is covered by her hair, so we can't see if she's crying. And we'll go to some comments. I think we're a little bit behind, so I have a little bit of room to move here. Looks like it's not easy for anybody to listen to this. We can't hear it. PK Swizzle. Oh, and now Lindsay is just broken down. Come to your screen if you can. We can only see her. We can't hear, but her hands are in covering her face. She's visibly sobbing, breaking down. If you're really interested in hearing the 911 call, I'm sure you can Google it. I know it's out there somewhere. PK Swizzle says, I would argue a person who is sane and trying to take someone's life, they wouldn't use that exercise band. That thing stretches so much, it would be hard to use effectively. That leads me to believe psychosis at the moment. 911 calls are always played in court. This is not unusual. And also clothing is always shown in court. Remember, all of John O'Keefe's clothing was shown to the jury. So it's not unusual. I understand your visceral reaction and your, many of you are very not happy with the way the prosecution is trying the case, but I will say that she has changed her tune since she started her direct examination on Tuesday. Jank, RN, is a nurse. Lindsay is still sobbing. Much needed awareness of PPD, a nurse for 25 years. I've seen many women with PPD from depression, psychotic features to catatonia is what you meant to say. I'm sure there are many who have transient systems. Thank you for your 10. Poofan, thank you for your 10. Decline, thank you for your 10. Catherine Mitchell said, why do we need the prosecutor to be sensitive? She's doing her job. Why aren't you all mad at our government and state representatives about getting better legislation regarding mental health? I think there are ways to try cases that can be more sensitive. I think there are ways of handling mental health cases like this that are very different. And if you were here for day one of the trial, then you might have more of an idea of what I'm talking about. But
Jurors, close your notebooks, place them on the chairs.
Kevin's up. Thank you, on top. People can be mad at both, right, Craft Hassel? I agree. And they are giving, I think they're giving the jury a break right now.
My drugs go.
Oh, Mike.
Jurors have exited the courtroom. The court's in session. Please be seated.
I'm hearing sobbing. I don't know if it's,
Recess at this time.
I don't know if it's Lindsay or I don't know if the jurors are crying or people in the gallery are crying.
Recess, please exit the courtroom. Clear out the courtroom, please. Thank you.
I mean, it could be that some of the jurors broke down. Jurors were breaking, the people in the panel who were called in for jury duty were breaking down. And didn't want to serve. And I don't know. Can you blame them? We're a little bit behind, so let's see how far we can get. Okay, jury's on break, and apparently they needed it. So we will minimize that until they come back. Why isn't her lawyer comforting her? He was holding her hand the entire time. He had to stand up when the jury was exiting. He has been very, one of the most sympathetic attorneys I've ever seen handling a case like this. G. Lander said, I wonder if the doctor visit for Cora's stomach issues that morning may have been a psychosis trigger for Lindsay. I don't know. There was testimony that she had trouble, that this was not unusual, that she was, I guess, constipated, that she had trouble using the bathroom at school and didn't want to. So that's why they went to that's why she sent him to get the Miralax or Pedialax. Happy to be me says, I've taken 1 to 2 pills of a certain medication and definitely been adversely affected. So it can't, you mean it can happen? You said it can happen. Thank you for your 5. Jeannie says, I am a chartered psychologist and can confirm moments of clarity and lucidity can be very common during a psychotic break or psychosis. Once again, thanks for covering this. Prayers from Ireland. Sláinte, my friend. Mary McDonough says, my daughter suffers from rapid cycling bipolar, a nightmare to get under control, especially with hormones from puberty and then pregnancy. Also, Lindsay had 3 kids under 5. 3 kids under 5. And postpartum, we learned, well, and we'll listen to the experts, but it can occur. Callan was 8 months old. So this psychotic break, as the defense is alleging, occurred 8 months postpartum. It can happen up to 2 years postpartum from my research, but I'll be interested to see what the expert says. Thank you, Mary, for your 20. Overruled Sit Down says, in my opinion, they pulled the security footage and videos so they didn't look like a terrible investigation, but I think this will backfire. Kelly says, my brother fell 65 feet off a cliff onto his head and he walks. A friend fell backwards onto a park bench and is paraplegic. It's the way you land and not the height. I think there was it an opening? One of the attorneys in their opening said that after she landed, when she realized that she did not succeed in her attempt, she was banging her head against the ground and fractured her cervical spine. Have these cretins no respect? Thank you very much for your super chat from across the pond, AU. Castle, thank you for your $5 super sticker. Kathy, your realtor in New Jersey says, when the prosecutor finally feels the true personal toll of mental illness, that realization will bring a heavy and profound reckoning. Sorry I haven't joined sooner. Thank you very much for your 20, Kathy. We're happy to have you. Charlie says, Australian mother who walked off the sightseeing cliff with her 2 babies sought help the day before, no help given. No words. Thanks for tuning in from Australia. Kira, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. AWK says, I worked for 40 years, known for my sunny disposition. No one had an inkling I was in turmoil inside. Pull yourself together was my mantra until the day I couldn't. I'm so sorry. And I'm so happy for you that that is in the rear view. Patchy Cakes, thanks for your super sticker. Good morning, Lisa M. Thanks for being here for 16 months. The jurors are on a break right now. The 911 call was very difficult for them to listen to, I imagine. We Are the Lucky Ones says, he is my hero, strong. Talking about Patrick Clancy. Thanks for being here for 6 months. Mon Bent, Psych NP here. See comment above. I don't know when this came through, but with over 11,000 people in the chat, it's impossible for me to scroll back. So I'm not sure what your comment was. I apologize, but thank you. Blue Dragonfly says, imagine hearing all these and not be able to react as you normally would because you have to keep your composure in court. My heart goes to her and to him. Yeah. Charlie says, all those medications and voices, what's real and what's not. It's going to be interesting to hear the experts. Lori says, I am so confused how Patrick can be on both sides witness lists. He's on the defense witness list also. Maybe there will be cross after prosecution's done showing this stuff and Patrick will come back. You put everyone that you may want to call on a witness list. So oftentimes you will see duplicates of witnesses on both witness lists. I do not think that he's going to call him back. I think he's going to do his cross today because I think Kevin Reddington wants Patrick Clancy to be able to get this over with. So I don't think that he's going to call him back in his case in chief. I think he was sent out of the room because of the evidence that was being showed that he didn't want to see or hear the 911 call. And I do think that his cross will happen today. But just because you put people on the witness list doesn't mean you're definitely going to call them. There's 200 witnesses on the combined witness list, and I don't think we're going to see anywhere near that. Thank you so much. Pesky Pirouette says, Melanie, can you probably once again explain what the Commonwealth stands to gain by trying this case? They want a conviction. They want Lindsay Clancy to go to prison. That's what they want. If she already agreed to mental health incarceration for the rest of her life, what is their gain? Well, she didn't agree to that. They agreed to admit to the crimes if there could be a trial only on the punishment, meaning not guilty by reason of insanity. And if that's the verdict, she would go to the state hospital. I think it's Bridgewater State is the state hospital. And if they find that they don't believe that she was not guilty by reason of insanity, she will go to prison. And that's what the Commonwealth wants. What do they stand to gain? Listen, cases like this can make or break a career for a prosecutor. It's definitely not going to make her career, in my opinion, because there are no winners here. There are no winners. Thank you, Colleen Marie, for your super sticker. Hello, Mrs. Bouquet. Much love to you and Harrison as well. Thanks for being here for 27 months. It's a Philly thing, says, oh, my mama heart breaks. After having my first baby, I was so depressed and I didn't understand why. I felt so guilty. I'm going to put the hotline number at the bottom of the screen for anybody who is suffering or knows someone who is from, they used to just call it the baby blues, right? The post-baby blues, but it can turn into a psychosis. And also it can resolve. There is help. There's the hotline scrolling below. Thank you so much for your time. That's why this trial is important, because education is important. Timeless Cesaria says, my heart hurts for both of them. This is heartbreaking. It is. I mean, the Commonwealth's theory of the case is that Lindsay Clancy didn't have a nanny anymore, and she didn't want to go back to work, and she didn't have the life that she wanted. So she decided to kill her kids and kill herself, and there was nothing wrong with her. That's their theory. They told us that in their opening. It was the other attorney, Shannon with one N, Buckingham, who did the opening, not Jennifer Sprague, who's been doing all the questioning. Thank you very much, Lisa, for your Venmo, for thanking me. Nancy, thank you so very much for your $50 Venmo. Says you're doing the Lord's work. I love you with all my heart. Love you too. Jacqueline, thank you so much for your Venmo. If you're sending me emails, I'm not going to be looking at them during the stream. So thank you. But when I have time later, I will. Yeah, they do need a break. They need a break. Right. And she didn't start off by saying, and listen, there are ways to try a case, right? You can show compassion and still try your case as a prosecutor. We saw that with Michael Daugherty, the Boulder County District Attorney in Colorado, during the mass shooting trial of the King Soopers shooter. He tried that case. He tried it zealously, but he also tried it with sensitivity to not only the victims of the family, but even to the defendant. There are ways of doing it. Calling Patrick Clancy to the stand. Mr. Clancy, I'm so sorry that you have to be here today. I can't even imagine what you're going through. My heart breaks for you and your family. I'm sorry I have to ask you these questions, but this is my job. I mean, there's ways of doing that, right? You don't come in hot, because the risk that you run is alienating the jury from day one. And sometimes once you lose a jury, you're not going to get them back. And so I think she opened too hot. And I think that it was just completely insensitive. There was no condolences. There was no thank you for being here. I understand how hard this is for you. I mean, think about David Yannetti, right? David Yannetti, when John O'Keefe's niece was on the stand, and I know everything always goes back to the Karen Reed case. It's just because it does. We sat through that trial twice, needlessly. We didn't get to see the testimony of the children, but it's my understanding that when the children took the stand, David Yannetti, I think it was David Yannetti, during trial one at least, said, listen, I'm really, really sorry that you had to come in here and do this today. I'm so sorry. I don't have any questions for you. You know, there are ways of doing it. You don't have to come in like a pit bull. It's not good, in my opinion. You can have a different opinion. Christine says, in the Athena Strand trial, I couldn't do that trial. I couldn't do that one. The defense said they were sorry to the parents on the stand. I hated the defense, but at least they showed compassion. John Monagle is here. Hi, John. He says, I definitely feel she's lost the jury. Bethy says, at 60, I've spent many days behind a fake smile. I'm sorry, Bethy. Hope is here for you. Says, my heart breaks for everyone involved. My prayers go out. Thank you, Melanie, for covering this trial. Thank you for being there for 26 months. Colleen Marie telling us her personal experience, saying, I took Remeron for one time and I saw spiders on me everywhere. That is frightening. And look, every patient is different. Every patient could have different side effects to medications, right? Legal swag. Thank you, Melanie. Virtual group hug, everyone. Thank you. Hoover Maneuver's been here for 4 months. Thank you. Jeannie Karen Reed for governor. Massachusetts says exactly, Mel. Compassionate approach needed. Slancha, girl. Witterbird says she gave the same amount of sympathy that Brennan gave to Lucky. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good look. Every attorney has their own, every trial lawyer has his or her own personal style. That would not have been the one that I would choose. Even though it's her job and she's given her marching orders to try this case, there are ways of trying it. Yeah. Georgia Kappelman trying the Adelsons showed more compassion than these two. So it's pesky pirouette. Yeah. Jay says, even Alan Jackson showed compassion for Peggy O'Keefe and offered his condolences. Yeah, I think there is going to be some bipolar disorder brought up at some point. I'm not sure if it was undiagnosed or if it eventually was diagnosed. Oh, thank you, Mass Dad. Mass Dad is telling us he knows everything about the court system because he works in Massachusetts in the legal field. He says the one who questioned Patrick, this is Jennifer Sprague, is the head of felony prosecutions in that office. That tells you all you need to know about how they handle the cases. Yep. Salem bitch trial says the prosecutor just wants a win. She doesn't want justice for these kids. We've seen a lot of unjust, overcharged prosecutions in Massachusetts. From Penny McGee to Brian Camp to Lucy Medina. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. Just tweeted she wishes she didn't hear the 911 call. See, I'm glad I didn't hear it. I'm not gonna go look for it. I don't want to hear it either. Because once you hear something like that, you can't unhear it. Bridgewater State Hospital is for men only. That's not what my research said, but you could be right if you know more than I do. But she's at Tewksbury now, but I don't know if that's part of the prison system. The promise me says Nate Etan interview of doctor on the meds. Love, Melanie. Thank you very much for tuning in from across the pond. Never on scaffolding. That's a good one. I like it. Says, don't know if you saw during pretrial that ADA Sprague referred to her colleague as my sister. They do that. It's a Massachusetts thing. They refer to other attorneys in the room as my brother, my sister, my brother, my sister. The first time I heard that, I thought it was bizarre, but it's an old Massachusetts thing. Bridgewater State's for males only. Okay, interesting. I must have looked up some bad information. So it would be Tewksbury. Where do the women go? Scott McGinnis. Thank you very much for your compliment. And you're 5. It looks like they're coming back. I think I just saw the camera move. Where are you getting that information from about paramedics arriving? Where did you get that information from? Oh, please. Oh, they don't put women in Bridgewater anymore. Okay, that must have been an old article that I pulled up. Thank you, Ms. Bouquet, for your group hug. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, Jules, she might have read the comments. She might have gone out there and read the comments on social media, the prosecutor. Oh, Nate Eaton has it written out. I don't need to see it. I don't need to read it. Nope. Protect your peace at all costs. All costs. She would go to Framingham if she went to prison, right? But if she went to the state hospital, if she's found not guilty by reason of insanity, people are saying she would probably stay at Tewksbury State Hospital since it can hold wards of the state. She's never going to get let out on the street. That's not what's going to happen here. Trisha says, Lindsay has saved my life. I have realized the Seroquel quetiapine was making me bad. I'm now off it 2 weeks. I also tapered off amitriptyline very slowly, but my mind is clear. First time in 10 years. I hope you're doing it under a doctor's supervision. Do not just do that by yourself. Please tell me that you're doing it under a doctor's supervision. And thank you very much for tuning in from across the pond. Gracewater pointing out, this is public record. Jennifer Sprague makes $108,000 a year to do her job. Yes, the jury's on a break. They took a break after the 911 call because there was visible, you could hear a lot of emotion in the courtroom. I don't know if it was coming from the jurors. It very well may have been. Masters of Criminology. Why would the state not have the claim of lack of responsibility decided by the judge opposed to having the jury decide? Well, it's up to the defendant or not whether they want to have a jury trial. They could have had a bench trial. They chose to go with a jury trial instead. And that is the defendant's right. 635. Women are treated at Department of Mental Health facilities separately, so there's one disorder. Yeah, and people saying, listen, going to a state hospital is no cakewalk, by the way. Farris says Bridgewater State is for men only. It's far worse than prison. Far worse. Mandley says Worcester. Women usually go to Worcester here. There he is. Scott McGinnis says if Clancy is sentenced, she may still remain at Tewksbury if MCI Framingham's HSU is not able to meet her needs. Remember, she's paraplegic. She's paralyzed below the waist, and she needs like constant assistance with activities of daily living. And if Clancy remains on state-ordered mental health inpatient treatment. Legal Swag pointing out that Heard with Love is Patrick's foundation. Thank you. Yeah, right. He and his sisters, right? His sisters or Lindsay's sisters, I'm not sure, have started a foundation to bring awareness to postpartum psychosis. Jury's on a break right now. Just waiting for them to come back. You're welcome. Lori, feel free to pass along that hotline number to anybody who may need it. Yes, the 911 was called. Oh, the 911 call was just played, and then the jury's on a break, and we're waiting for them to come back. Lex P said, my husband had mental health crises. We have photos from Disney smiling in front of the castle with our 2 young kids. A single photo or a good day doesn't tell the whole story. Right. Right. We have learned there are 12 women and 6 men on the jury. 12 will serve in the end. The alternates will be picked right before deliberations, as usual. At Fort Dread, thank you for your 10, says, I'm heartbroken for what all Patrick has been through. I'm home with my sick 8-month-old daughter, and I feel kind of guilty watching him have to relive this unimaginable nightmare. Prayers for Patrick. Thank you. Kaylee Rose says, Lori Vallow was delusional disorder, but still criminal responsibility. Knowing, plotted, accessory. Lindsay Clancy, psychotic, tried to get help, impulsive moment, not criminal responsibility. That's your thoughts? Thank you very much for that. Good analysis. I'm waiting to hear all the evidence. You know, I'm not convinced yet, but I'm willing to consider the possibility. I'm willing to have an open mind, which is a lot more than I can say for a lot of people who have made some pretty horrific comments publicly. Trisha, thanks for becoming a member. Christina Photograph says, there's another creator in the courtroom and is saying on X, the gallery is all crying, and so were the jurors while listening to the 911 call. I guess they have to collect themselves. Thank you, Christina. 3-5. Kim says in Massachusetts, women needing psychiatric care within the state correctional system are primarily housed at MCI Framingham or treated externally at the Lemuel Shattuck Hospital Correctional Unit. Lori Phillips says it's heartbreaking that they didn't keep her inpatient before the tragedy. Listen, she went to McLean. She was there for 4 days or 5 days. She checked herself out because she wanted to go to Cora's birthday. And I think she checked herself out around January 5th. And then this happened January 24th. Minnesota mama, my ex took Wellbutrin for 3 months and he had hallucinations and turned into a Jekyll and Hyde monster. It was so awful and it led me to being, again, please don't use that word, from how he treated me. I still shake thinking about that time. Thank you so much for that 20. Trisha says, yes, I should have added, I tapered off the meds with the help of my wonderful GP and I'm a pharmacy technician, so I do everything under supervision. Good. Reality Squad says, I don't necessarily believe this was premeditated like the Commonwealth says, but I believe there's evidence that Lindsay Clancy knew she was on a collision course with disaster. She's also a labor and delivery nurse, so did she know more about postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis than the average person? And we're going to find out through more witnesses that she tried to get help. Never says, maybe, just maybe, she had a fear of being alone and wanted the time to be minimal. Been there, telling myself just 10 minutes, just 5 minutes, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. A lot of people say that there is oftentimes before someone is about to execute their plan of taking their own life, there is a manic feeling of joy because they know that their pain is going to be over soon. I watched a podcast with a medical provider. I learned that in my recent rabbit hole. I'm going to go off camera for a moment to turn the fan on. It's getting a little warm in here. Fill up my drink. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute. I'll be right back. Okay, well, they are still on break. I read some live tweeting from 3 people in the courtroom: Sue O'Connell, Lauren Mathias, and Jessica Machado. Consensus is there were many people crying in the courtroom: jurors, gallery members, Lindsay, Patrick, left with tears in his eyes. Sue O'Connell also tweeted that somebody started live streaming outside the courtroom and was ejected. I don't know who that was, but maybe we'll find out. She also says first responders are also here and in the DA's office. So I'm assuming that they're testifying today. I think somebody misconstrued that by saying that they were there to tend to somebody, but I think that they were there to testify. Because if they're in the DA's office, it's probably why. And that's why we don't put misinformation in the chat. It's like a game of telephone. Carol Silva says, I had postpartum depression and I still have anxiety and depression. I've never had S thoughts, but I understand why people do it. The pain is often unbearable. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your super chat. And the break is going longer than expected. Pamela, thank you for your Venmo. Says, thank you for your work. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Melissa says, I think her checking herself out brings up doubt, but the amount of time she was suffering had to be exhausting on top of not sleeping and no one helping her when she was crying out for help. They had her on a lot of medications. Oh, Michael Bryant went live for a little. I wonder if he was kicked out. Was he ejected, Kerry? So let me see. That was Tim. And that was on a live at the court. Tim who? Who Tim? Tim who? Michael was given permission to stream from the lobby. Okay. Oh, Jess reported Tim Jansen with Surviving the Survivor was the one who was live streaming. Did he get in trouble? Oops. Thank you, Dinderloo, for your 20. Says, thank you for narrating for those of us who can't bear to watch. I lost my mom to depression. I'm so sorry. She was grossly overprescribed. I can't imagine my 911 call being shared or being questioned by someone with so little compassion. I know it's heartbreaking. There are ways to do it. It's a choice. See if there's anything more I can find out. Yeah, all 3 of them were talking about the 911 call and said it was just brutal. Can't unhear it. His screams were just so real. And it's just, none of it is good. Here's what Jessica Machado says. A correspondent for Surviving the Survivor, Tim Jansen, was just removed from the courthouse. He was midstream reporting from inside the courthouse when he was approached by court staff instructing him to shut it down. Court officers surrounded him, then escorted him back into the courtroom to get his things. He was then escorted out of the building. Oh, well. And that was 4 minutes ago. Oops. Not supposed to do that. K-Jab says, it's especially hard if you're high functioning. You realize the helpers are subpar. It's all sad. Praying this trauma can be a catalyst for healthy changes. Yeah. In this case, in general, there's a lot of public interest in it. Panda sharing her experiences. When I had PPD, I was prescribed so many medications. I would see my therapist and psychiatrist weekly. They would change my meds or up the doses. My cabinet was full of prescription meds that I didn't take. Yeah, I don't think that landed the way that she thought it was going to land. But I guess we'll see. Elle says, I hope this prosecutor takes this feedback and learns to question with compassion in the future. She's definitely changed her tone since Tuesday. Since Monday. I will say that. Alana says it's important to appreciate the emotions on both ends. Loss of children is an incredibly emotionally charged situation. And the DA's office is for the victims. No Hitter said, when people are in psychosis, they don't know they're in psychosis. Maddie Foley says, he's a lawyer too, which makes it a little funny. Sister Sully said that too. Tim should know better. He's an attorney. No, I don't think Joel is there. Thank you, Adine. Says, thanks for covering this heartbreaking case. You're handling this with tact and humanity. I also had PPD and a NICU heart mom. Oh, very dark time. Thank you for your 5. A lot of you are sharing your stories in the chat. A lot of people could read. A lot of people could learn a lot of things from reading the personal stories in this chat. Tim Jensen, not Jansen. Okay, I was just reading her tweet. I don't know who he is, so I don't know his name. She says Jansen, you say Jensen, tomato, tomato. Oh my God, you guys with the stories, you're going to make me cry. Stop. Thanks, Rose, for becoming a member. Yeah, a stand-up routine, a comedy routine would be good right about now. I can feel the pain of the lack of sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep. And now I feel like I'm going crazy. Lack of sleep will do that to you. If you know, you know. I don't know if they're going to roll this right into lunch. Usually they don't go to lunch until 1, so I don't think that they would do that. Who knows if they'll lose some jurors today because emotionally they can't continue. Good thing they got 6 alternates. Melissa says masking depression is real, just like the commercial. I can be out and smile and laugh and come home and cry. I've been doing it for 30 plus years. Oh, I'm sorry. Vicki Hendricks says, what is the point of showing the baby clothes? I mean, listen, they showed John O'Keefe's clothing too. It's just, it's part of evidence. It's part of evidence. I'm glad that he didn't have to be in the room when they showed him. Where are you getting this information from? It popped up lunch. Where did you get the information from? If I could find that for real, I would, we can all take a break because I think we all need it. Hold on. I don't see where Sue said it. Well, Lindsay has the opportunity to not be in the room if she wants to. Remember, Adam Montgomery in New Hampshire did not attend his trial at all. She's got the right to be there, but she doesn't have to be. And so I think she had the option. It's not lunch. Well, I'm looking at Law and Crime now. I have it up on the screen, and it doesn't say anything about lunch. They don't do lunch. They do lunch from 1 to 2. So if you guys want to go have lunch, you can. I'm going to wait until I have it on authority. On top, it says, I don't normally comment on appearances, but the husband is a remarkably passable Hugh Laurie. Yeah, a little bit. Dr. House, a little bit. I didn't know. It said that he was subject to recall later today. Zoe, that's what I heard. Subject to recall later today. Patrick was excused for the playing of the 911 call and the showing of the clothing. But the judge did say subject to recall later today. Stephen says this this DA wants to prosecute Lindsay because she hates cheerleaders. Thanks for your 5. I know, this is very interesting too. It is, Dizzy. Dizzy says it's interesting how different the reports from the courtroom are between the different reporters. Some saying the jury was emotional, some saying that the jury was stoic. I know. And that is why it's so important to have cameras in the courtroom so we can see at least the witnesses for ourselves, because that was one of the problems with the Richard Allen trial in Delphi is that, you know, depending on who you would watch recap the trial at the end of the day, everyone had different impressions of what happened at the trial. And that's why cameras in courtrooms are so important. EMTs are entering the DA's office. Yeah, I think they're probably there to testify. And so they may be getting prepped for their testimony. Thank you, Court Chopped. I would imagine that they're going to be the next witnesses. It is Jansen. Okay, thank you. Jess was right. Oh, I like Kathy Russell. Let's see what she's got to say. We know now the view of the house is going to be on Friday. They said they're going to go to 3 places. I think they're going to drive to CVS. I mean, they're going to probably visit CVS, the restaurant, and the house. Is Kathy Brusson in the courtroom? I think she is. But I don't know. She says our photographer who runs the camera for this trial was crying during the 911 call. He said pretty much everyone in the courtroom was crying. Okay, so she's not there, but she's getting intel from the camera person. That's heartbreaking. How do you know they're there for Patrick? Supposedly he's having a panic attack. Like, where are you getting, if you're going to cite information, tell me your source. Because there's a lot of people on the internet who just, post a lot of wild stuff that's not backed up by any fact or anybody who's physically actually seeing it. And so I'm not going to report on that. Distracted therapist says, as a mental health professional, I'm here to remind people psychosis doesn't impact things like executive function. You can still plan, etc., while having psychosis. This prosecutor is not only cruel, but uneducated. That is why it is so important to listen to the experts and to hear what the experts have to say. Yeah, that's what they say about Patrick Screams. Mama G wants to know, can Lindsay even testify giving the nature of her defense? Yeah, well, her defense is that she had a psychotic break at the time of the crimes. So she has not, I don't even think there's been a competency evaluation, but she hasn't been deemed incompetent, to testify. Two different things. But I don't think she's going to testify. I don't think there's any reason for her to testify. Everyone knows who did it. This is not a who done it, but it's more of a why done it. Why? Why did she do it? And as a result of that, she have criminal responsibility. WCVB reporting that EMTs arrived. My guess is that they're there for their testimony, but let me see if there's anything. Is it Christina Rex? Is it, who is it? Thank you, Heather. How can you hear the call? I don't know. It's probably somewhere. You can probably Google it and try and find it that way. Google is your friend. I don't know where it lives. I don't want to hear it. Let's see. Live updates. On the live update page for WCVB. Thank you, Heather. Pretty long feed. Well, this live feed, though, is from, it only went up to July 20th. Let's see, on the live stream page. I don't know, because I'm in New York, I might get a different website than you guys have. It's out there. Chrissy says the 911 call from Patrick is sealed. You can't find it anywhere. Only the 911 call from the dispatchers to the emergency responders is available. Okay. I'm not gonna, I don't want to hear it anyway. Oh, it's Tim Jansen who's talking about it. He said he thought they were there for Mr. Clancy. He thought he may have had a panic attack. I don't know. Or they could be there because they're testifying and they went into the DA's office because they needed to get prepped or something. I don't know. Maga Barbie, thank you for your 10 says, I don't think the actual 911 call is out there. I've only been able to find the dispatch audio. It might have been available before the trial, before it was ruled that the public, they had to turn the cameras off. When it was, before the trial. I don't know. I haven't heard it. Roosevelt Media News says Patrick and Lindsay may have to go through this again at the civil trial. Yep. Patrick has filed a wrongful death action on behalf of his children against Lindsay's medical providers, and Lindsay has filed a medical malpractice lawsuit. So I guess it's not out there. All right, courtroom we reopened. I'm being told. Good, because I don't know, I'm just not in the mood to fill dead air today. I think I'm tired. And tonight is Dave Matthews night for those who celebrate. Celebrate we will. Because life is short, but sweet for certain. Andrea says, so the Commonwealth theory is that the snowman and art projects were the last straw for Lindsay. I don't know. Listen, I read an article in the New York Post this morning. Apparently, Lindsay has journals. We're going to get to hear the journals. Apparently, she made a lot of Facebook posts also in some like mom groups. One of the Facebook posts says something such as like, my 19-month-old is making me crazy. I don't know what to do. According to Michael at Justice Served, he said that it was an extended break. Dr. Zeisel talking with Lindsay's parents. Clearly, the judge needs Lindsay composed before we continue. Sasha's dog mom, thank you for your 10 says being prescribed Zoloft for perimenopause, anxiety, depression the first week had me wanting to exit. Women go through so much. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Are doctors throwing pills at too much these days? Is everybody just getting written a prescription? Concert's outside, but the rain's going to be gone by then. The storm is moving up towards you. It was supposed to be last week, but it got canceled because of the tornado warnings here. And Jones Beach Theater is right on the water. When the water rises, the whole place floods. Yeah, we already read the quote of the day. Where is it? It's right here. Motivational quote of the day. Margaret Thatcher said, the spirit of envy can destroy. It can never build. That was your motivational quote of the day. Lindsay is back in the courtroom from Inside Source. Okay, the camera is moving a little bit. I imagine they will shorten lunch because of this very extended break. But it looks like we're coming back. Here we go.
of the record, we return back to the matter of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant.
All right. Counsel, can I see it sidebar, please?
I just want to rewind that a scooch.
Sidebar, please.
Oh, Lindsay is back in the courtroom. Okay. Remember to protect your peace and take breaks as needed. And please smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Also hit the subscribe button if you're here. It's free. It's free. We have a 3-day waiting period on chatting because there are so many trolls on the internet, and we try and protect our chat and our peace. And sometimes people like to just come in here and rage bait, race bait, hate bait. My chat, my choice. Thank you, Karen. That's exactly what I said. EMTs in the building could be for many reasons. I think they came in uniform to testify. That's what I think. But let's not jump to conclusions without knowing for sure. I know. Some people like to break news, even if it's not news. That's why I say, please don't put any rumors in the chat. Only if you know something for sure. And if it's your opinion, just say my opinion. In my opinion. Peace, Babs for Bruins. Peace. Even though I'm a Rangers fan. And you know that. And somebody asked me about the Shanna Gardner trial. It is on my list. It's going to depend on when it happens. I think Mario Fernandez is being tried first. That is regard to the Shanna Bridigan. I mean Jared Bridigan murders for hire, Shanna Gardner and Mario Fernandez. And I think it's in August. But it's going to depend on other things. I still don't know if Sarah Grace Patrick is actually going to start August 3rd, because I don't think that there was ever an order from the court about trying to get an adjournment. Henhouse, Bath Coast. As I saw a new GYN last year who tried to prescribe a mood stabilizer after meeting me for 3 minutes. So yes, they're throwing meds at people. Listen, pharma is big business. Pharmaceutical reps must have a lot of money because they're always buying lunches for doctors' offices. And so it's a sales game, in my opinion. Willow says Rangers all the way. Rangers all the way. Law Tube's most hated mod telling you some of you may have been timed out by accident. We apologize for that. But for those that deserved it, oh well, too bad, so sad. It's like, just think before you hit go. I can't have my streams taken down because people can't control their language. And I give my mods 100%
All right, we're going to
deference.
take about a 5-minute break. Then we'll come back out and I'll address the scheduling with counsel. All right, so about a 5-minute recess.
Oh, are they? I'll address the scheduling with counsel. Like, are they going to break for the day? Did something happen? Was there an emergency? I don't know. Credible sources only. Another 5-minute break. I'm going to hold him to it because right now I've got the time as 11:30 Eastern. Thank you, Dash, in between for your $2 shark bait. Appreciate you. Thank you, Pamela, for your Venmo. She just says, thanks for your work. Thank you. It's probably something that I don't know, that might not want to be tweeted. I don't know. People who are tweeting from the courtroom need to kind of like just be careful about what they're tweeting. I don't know. We just heard that a guy got ejected for live streaming in the hallway. Helena says being a parent of young kids is tough in itself. Imagine being in a depressive state, maybe psychotic, no sleep, possibly high functioning, bipolar. And she had 3 kids under 5. Anybody know what that's like? It's exhausting. I had 3 kids under 3 at one point. Right. No Name says these doctors also get kickbacks on all the medicine and meds that they push from these pharmaceuticals. So that's a bonus, money bonus. I don't know if they still do that anymore after what happened with OxyContin and the Sackler family. And if anybody ever watched Dope Sick on Hulu, it's one of the best series ever. Like really a really excellent breakdown of the opioid crisis and how they marketed that drug to the doctors, telling him it wasn't addictive. And then they just kept making stronger and stronger doses and stronger pills. Charlie from Down Under says, same with strong pain relief meds, FDA. You can't have any more for legit chronic pain, but we don't care. What's wrong with you? Victor Mann says, 1+ of the VA, no kickbacks to doctors for scripts. Annie had 3 kids under 4, and it was no joke. Elsa's Ice Cream says, feels like Reddington predicted this wasn't a good idea. I mean, it is evidence, so they are entitled to hear it. So it's a really hard call. And I don't know if it was a juror who may have an issue. Silverleaf says, has there ever been a jury who sends a note to the judge saying, so yeah, we're done. And this is so stupid. This was brought forward and we're out of here. Not that I'm aware of. If anybody's aware of anything that ever happened like that in a U.S. trial, let me know. And then Jeannie comes in and says, but she was having issues going back to work after each child, but kept having kids. So are we going to blame her for having kids? Having more kids? Should we blame her because she decided to have more kids? First of all, postpartum psychosis and postpartum depression can be different with every pregnancy. They may not. Get postpartum one pregnancy and then get severe postpartum psychosis another pregnancy. And so, interesting comment. Kate's in the burbs. She says she's a farmer rep. This is false. Doctors do not get kickbacks. We are held to FDA laws. Yeah, but I think years ago, like right before the opioid crisis, it was kind of different. There was a lot of gift giving. Remember they used to call it payola when you wanted to get your record played on the radio station? Fair and balanced, we could face fines or jail time. Yeah, it's a lot different than it used to be, Kate. I believe you. There she is. Here's another one. Jilly Bean says, I worked for a surgeon during OxyContin days. I received tickets to concerts, food, etc. And I was just the nurse. Yeah, it's really good. Have you guys watched Dope Sick? Michael Keaton is in it. He's the doctor. Love Michael Keaton. Jody says every mother has issues. Every mother ever has issues going back to work and leaving her baby. Completely normal. Yeah. It's the working mom's guilt. Working moms have a lot of guilt. Reps do lunches, dinners, and coffee now. Justice Served is apparently also live tweeting. His perception via his channel, we like Michael, is that there is a scheduling issue. Maybe the new owner of the murder house has decided that he can't possibly be available to let them come for their view on Friday. He really fought to not have it, as did Kevin Reddington, but the Commonwealth won that fight. Masuz's here. She says, before the Stark Law and anti-kickback statutes, doctors were given rich incentives to prescribe certain meds. I work in compliance for pharma and biotech. Curly Jones couldn't finish Dope Sick. Dizzy did and said, it broke my heart. Jean says, yes, about 20 years ago, the law changed. My husband is an attorney for an orthopedics company. He had to testify before Congress about it. Wow. Right. This is interesting because Ronnie says, so is it Patrick's fault then too that he ran to the store? This is an incredibly tragic situation. Blaming anyone just feels yucky. Not in this case. Now, yacht today, Satan. I did see a lot of people blaming him. A lot of people throwing in the chat earlier, like accusing him of like adultery. Like, it's just gross. It's just gross. Reefer's mom says, can you excuse yourself from a jury if you feel like you can't move past something you just heard? Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes jurors drop out for various reasons. They just, like they may say, I can't be fair. After hearing that, I just feel like I can't be fair, and I'm not going to be open to listening to the rest of the evidence because I've already made up my mind, and that is a reason to take someone off a jury. Dipsic was amazing. You know, I've been reading a lot about Elizabeth Siders, and there's not a lot of information out there about her. So I don't know that we can really diagnose Elizabeth Siders at this point because there's just not a lot of information. I don't even think that the arrest warrants have been released. I've been looking for documents on it. Is the
Back in session, you may be
Yeah.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant.
All right. Counsel, is the Commonwealth ready to call another witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Before we do that, can I see the sidebar?
Oh, come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Okay, so I guess Patrick Clancy's not being called back to the stand. People are saying he may have had some sort of medical issue. I don't know if that's true, so I'm not going to report on it. I'm just saying that there's rumblings of that. He may be recalled. He may be recalled for cross, or he may be called in the case in chief, but it does appear that the Commonwealth has another witness available to testify. My guess is it's going to be a first responder. So again, if you can't handle it.
Commonwealth, if you'd call your next witness, please. Oh, geez. Wait a minute, says, after we bring the jury in, are you ready to call your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Lindsay is now wearing glasses. She didn't have glasses on this morning.
Which ones do you want? All the exhibits are in that box. The prescription bottles are right here. Do you need those?
Court, all rise. Jurors enter. Yes, court is now in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant and the 18 jurors.
Members of the juries, thank you for your patience with us. With that, Commonwealth, you would call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Commonwealth calls Angela Kraus.
Good morning. Stop right here, raise your right hand for the clerk.
I can't jump ahead. We're on real time, Laura.
Testimony and the evidence you shall put to the court and the jury that have now pending between the Commonwealth and the shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
Why don't you step right here, please?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are
I'm
you?
going to ask you to keep your voice up and speak into that microphone, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Commonwealth.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
It's Angela Kraus. It's Angela Krause.
And your date of birth, please.
5/19/77.
Where do you work?
CVS Pharmacy,
And at which location?
Kingston.
And do you know the address of that location?
189 Summer Street.
And how long have you worked there?
4 years at that location.
And what is your role there?
General manager
How long have you been the general manager?
for CVS.
For CVS, yes.
9 years.
And so the entire time you've worked at that location, those 4 years, you've been the general manager at the Kingston store?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to direct your attention to Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And what shift were you working?
Closing.
Which is what hours?
Say roughly 3 to 11.
So that would be 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to direct your attention further to 4:48 p.m. Did you receive a phone call while you were working?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that on the CVS line?
Yes.
And do you know that number?
No.
And where were you when you received that call?
I was in the office
And what were you doing?
preparing to do cash for the night.
And what does that entail?
Closing out the registers.
And the call that you received, was that from a male or a female?
Female.
And what, if anything, did she say?
She was inquiring if I carried a product in stock.
And what product was that?
It was like a constipation medicine.
Was it Miralax?
Yes.
And did she specifically ask for something to do with children's Miralax?
Well, I asked for clarification because depending on if she wanted children's or adults, it would be in a different part of the store.
And when you asked for clarification, was she able to provide clarification?
Yes. She
And what-
said it was for children's.
And what was your response?
It's located in 2 different places in the store.
And did you give her any specific brand names or anything like that?
I just said that we carried Pedialax, and I was 13 and 20.
And approximately how long was this conversation?
A few minutes.
During that conversation, did you have any difficulty understanding the woman?
No, ma'am.
Did she appear to have any difficulty understanding you or the questions that you were asking her?
No, ma'am.
And her voice, did it seem slurred or impaired in any way?
Not at all. It's a very normal interaction.
I was just going to ask, was there anything out of the ordinary about the conversation?
No.
Later that evening, did the police come to the store?
Yes.
And did they request that you pull some surveillance footage for them?
Yes.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And if I could just have Exhibit 28, the footage up for a moment. If you could look at the screen here, do you recognize the store? And is this part of the footage that you provided to police that night?
Yes.
And directing your attention over here to the right, the aisle where the gentleman is standing, all the way to the right of the store. Are you familiar with what was in that aisle in January of 2023?
Yeah, that's our children's aisle.
So that would have things like children's Pedialax?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any interaction with that gentleman while he was in the store?
No, ma'am.
And did the police also ask you to provide a copy of a receipt for that gentleman's transaction?
Yes, ma'am.
And just showing you Exhibit 26. Is this the receipt that you provided to the police?
Yes, ma'am.
And on here, it says Skittles Wildberry. So that is Skittles.
Yes.
It also says FLT, PDLX, LQD, GLY for the second item. What does that stand for in CVS?
It's Fleet brand, but then it's going to be Pedialax and then a glycerin suppository.
Okay, so the FLT is for Fleet?
Yes.
And the PDLX is for PDLX?
Yes, ma'am.
I have nothing further for the witness. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Reddington.
I have no questions. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Me sit down. Thank you.
No cross. A lot of people think this is a complete and utter waste of time, et cetera. This is a very
Your Honor,
important.
Commonwealth would call Soraya Sweeney.
This is how you build a case. This is how you build a case. This is trial 101. They're building a case. They're building the timeline. And by doing that, they're also showing that they were ruling out Patrick. That's right, Emily. They're also showing the timeline, and they're trying to show that because she was able to do all of these things and she was lucid and she could have a conversation, she couldn't possibly have been suffering from a psychotic break. So it is important testimony for the Commonwealth to try and build their case. And also she authenticated the receipt and the surveillance video. So there you go.
It doesn't make a difference to me.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you stop right here, raise your right hand for the clerk, please?
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony and the evidence you shall give to the court and the jury, no matter now pending between the Commonwealth and the defendant, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank
This way,
you.
please.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I'm just going to ask you to keep your voice up and speak into that microphone. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sprague.
Thank you. Good morning. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Saria, Saria. My last name is Sweeney or Shelgren, depending on what year we're in.
So in 2023 was
It
your
was
last
Sweeney, Sweeney.
And now what is your last name?
Shelgren, Shelgren.
And what is your date of birth?
9/3/89.
And where do you work?
Currently have two jobs. I work at a doctor's office and I also work at 3V. It's a restaurant in Plymouth.
And how is 3V spelled?
It's spelled out the number 3, THREE with a V at the end.
And how long have you worked at 3V restaurant?
Since 2019
And where is it located?
in Cordage Park in Plymouth.
And in 2023, in January of 2023, what was your role at 3V restaurant?
I was a hostess then.
And directing your attention further to Tuesday, January 24th, 2023, were you working that night?
Yes, I was.
And what shift were you working?
I work an evening shift. Usually I would arrive between 4:45 and 5 o'clock,
And when would your shift end?
typically between 8 and 9 o'clock.
And what was your role as a hostess?
Greet patrons, take takeout orders, give takeout orders, seat people, generally help with the running of the restaurant front end.
And directing your attention to 5:10 p.m., did you receive a call for a takeout order?
Yes,
And was that a male or a female?
it was a female.
And did that person place an order?
Yes,
And do you recall what she ordered?
yes.
What was that?
It was a order of risotto and a Mediterranean power bowl.
And the power bowl, is that considered a type of salad at 3V?
Yes,
Did you ask any follow-up questions about the order of the salad?
yes.
What did you ask?
We ask if it doesn't automatically come with protein. It's something that we always ask, do you want to add a protein?
Does the Mediterranean power bowl automatically come with protein?
No, it does not.
So did you ask the woman if she wanted protein?
Yes.
And what was her response?
No, thank you.
And did she also give you the name and phone number of the person who would be picking up the order?
Yes.
And is that something that you enter into the system as you're entering the order?
Yes.
Do you have any trouble understanding the woman?
No.
Did she appear to have any trouble understanding you or the questions you were asking her?
No.
Did her voice sound slurred or impaired in any way?
No.
Was there anything out of the ordinary about this interaction?
No.
Directing your attention to 5:54 p.m. was the order picked up?
Yes.
And was it picked up by a male or a female?
A male.
If we could pull up Exhibit 30 footage. And are you depicted in the video here?
Yes.
And where are you?
I'm standing behind the host stand.
And so for the record, the hostess stand or the host stand is in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah,
of the
it's
video.
that black stand that has a wooden framer on the top.
So am I pointing to the right area?
Yes.
In the upper left corner?
Yes.
You could play that for a moment. And if you could pause it, please. So we're at 5:54:19 p.m. You see the individual who picked up the order.
Yes.
And which individual is that?
The man in the dark jacket that entered last.
And is he the person behind the couple at the host stand?
Yes.
And showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 31. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
And what do you recognize it to be?
That is one of our printouts that comes with orders. We attach those to the bags for takeout and have a copy for ourselves as well.
And displaying it. Okay. Here. Here in the line where it says Patrick and then a phone number, is that where you would enter in what the person calling gives you for the information of the person picking up the order?
Yes.
Was there anything out of the ordinary about your interaction with that gentleman?
No.
I have no further questions.
Attorney Reddington.
No questions, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Let me step down. Thank you.
If you're confused about why this testimony is important, just watch the screen and I'll put up the comments that will explain to you.
All right. Hey,
Why
Counsel,
it's
could I see
important.
you at this time? Thanks, scheduling.
I don't like the date of birth question. I don't think it's necessary for them to broadcast it. I mean, who cares? At least they should bleep it out. I just don't like it. It is currently 11:54. Thank you, Bridget, for gifting 5 memberships. You're amazing. Thank you. Distracted therapist for your 20. Previous pregnancies put you at a higher risk for postpartum conditions. She should have been monitored from doctors throughout for mental health, but doctors don't often value the mental health professional opinion. It's not automatic. Maybe it should be. Thanks for your 20. Mason, thanks for your 20. Reddington made a new motion in limine for emergency relief for things the Commonwealth said during opening and direct examination of Patrick. Okay, that's interesting. I'll see if I can get hold of it. Thank you very much for that 20. Kitty says, I love this community. Those with heart and common sense. Yes. I don't know what this means, Charlie. Does the Commonwealth want it tattooed on her forehead? What, you mean her mental health? Was there cannabis use on that date, says Moan Bent? I don't know. I don't know. I think there was only one reference to a weed gummy. And that was, I think, an opening. I would love to know, did they interview Lindsay Clancy in the hospital? Is there a recorded interview? That is something I do not know. If anybody knows, let me know, because I'll be interested to see that. They seem to tape record and videotape their witness statements in every other case but the Karen Reed case. Curly Jones says they watch you like a hawk here in Australia. I can't count the number of times I had to take the depression test. Basically, every time you went in to see the GP for baby checkups. Interesting. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. I thought it was just me. I'm reading the chat and I'm like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Ms. Melanie, if it please the Cupcake Court, I'd like to present this motion to name today. Read the Room Wednesday.
It's going to be full of a couple of starts and stops. This is going to be one of those stops. All right. So I'm going to excuse you till 2 o'clock. All right. Then we're going to come back. And we're going to resume, I believe, with the Commonwealth's case. So we're going to be in recess on this matter till 2 o'clock. All right.
Court, all rise. Good. Close the notebooks, place them on your chairs, please.
Thank you, Holly Johnson, for gifting 5 memberships. You're amazing.
All of them.
I think maybe this will be the emergency motion that we just learned about. Maybe they'll be arguing this now. I wonder if he's going to move for a mistrial. I love a spicy Kevin Reddington.
Jurors have exited the courtroom. This court's in session. Please be seated.
All right. We're going to be in recess on this matter till 2 o'clock. I want to remind everyone of the media order regarding not videotaping or broadcasting from the courtroom or inside the courthouse. So I just kind of wanted to reiterate that. All right. So with that, we'll be in recess till 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Court, all rise.
Yeah, a break from sidebar, a break, another break, and another break, and another break. Resume at 2 and then leave for the day 3. I don't know if we should end this stream and start another stream at 2 so we can all take a break. Kelly says, what I find frustrating about prosecutors' questions isn't that they are inappropriate, but rather that they're being asked at all when guilt isn't denied. Yeah, but it is the way it is. After they agreed to stipulate to the crimes and just go to trial on the penalty phase, Commonwealth wouldn't agree. So Kevin Reddington made a motion to bifurcate the trial. And that also was denied. So here's where I don't know why they're taking a 2-hour lunch break. There was no cross of Patrick Clancy yet. And so I don't know. He did comfort her when she was crying. He was holding her hand, Martha, the whole time. He was holding her hand the whole time. Samantha says, can't you have postpartum psychosis and still be legally culpable for this crime? The angle of saying she was making it up is still bizarre to me. Well, I think they said there was a fake suicide attempt. And it's not that, well, I went over this earlier, but I'll read it to you again. In Massachusetts, if she asserts a lack of criminal responsibility defense, a defendant is not criminally responsible for a crime if, at the time of the offense, they suffered from a mental disease or defect, and as a result, either lacked the capacity to appreciate the wrongfulness of their conduct, or lacked the ability to conform their conduct to the requirements of the law. Once that is properly raised through expert testimony, the burden shifts to the Commonwealth to prove that the defendant was not legally insane at the time the acts were committed, even if the defendant admits to the crime. So it is intent, or it is actually mental state that is in question. And so that is what we are going to do. We are going to end this stream. We will come back at 2 p.m. for the afternoon stream. And we're not a little bit behind. We're on real time. We are absolutely on real time. You may be behind, but we're not. Thank you, Elaine, very much for your Venmo. Says just Melanie Little. Oh, thank you so much. Pamela, thank you for your Venmo. Says thanks for your work. I appreciate you guys so much. So much. RB, thank you for your 3 matcha lattes. I'm definitely going to need it today. Maybe I could get a little power nap in. We don't know if it was snowing that day. We don't even know how cold it was. Lisa, thank you for your Venmo. Says thanks for your trial coverage. Appreciate you guys so much. So coming back 2 p.m. I'll set up the other stream, and I'm going to keep the chat off for now because the mods need a break too. So that's what we're going to do. Watch for the other stream. Come back at 2 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. And in the meantime, stay safe out there. It's rough out there on the YouTube streets and all the social media streets, especially on this case. People have a lot of opinions and not a lot of open minds. All right, you guys, I will see you at 2 p.m. Peace.